Hello, welcome to episode 25 of the Epic Film Challenge 2001 Movies You Must See Before You Die, Tootsie, starring Dustin Hoffman. I forget who the director is now, Sidney Pollack, I think. Remember his agent in the film?
Yeah.
That's the director.
Really?
Yeah. Fun bit of trivia. So Tootsie is about a struggling actor, played by Dustin Hoffman, living in New York. He can't get a part in a theatre job? Yeah, a play. Acting gig, because he's too difficult. He kind of goes against the script, against whatever the person who's wrote it. He's like, well, he wouldn't do this or whatever, and he's just difficult to work with. And his agent says, no one wants to hire you. And so he decides, okay, then I'm going to dress up as a woman and get a job. Which seems like a bit of a leap. Like, literally it just cuts to him walking down the street dressed as a woman. And he gets a job on a daytime soap, like one of those bad, daily dramas that they have on TV, and he becomes a hit. Like, everyone loves his character, which he kind of forces upon the show. Like, he goes against the lines in the script and just goes off on his own thing. Improvises a lot, and he ends up kind of making an impact on not only the people who watch the show, the fans, but also a particular actress who's in the show with him. Maybe he falls a little bit for her, but she knows him as a woman. As Dorothy, isn't it? Yeah. One thing I found funny is that the film's called Tootsie, and it's only mentioned once in it's like, oh, he said it, but it was like such a throwaway moment. It wasn't a bigger part of it as I thought it would be. But either way, I thought it was brilliant. What do you think? You've seen it before. I hadn't seen it before.
I liked it a lot more now. He's just a great actor, isn't he?
Yeah, he's amazing.
The way he plays her to completely different people.
Yeah.
And I bet it's a lot easier for him to play her as well with all that stuff on.
Yeah, definitely.
Because he's got a lot of makeup on, and he looks pretty good for. He looks older than what he is as a man, so he looks like 10 years older as a woman in a way.
Yeah, that's a good point.
But I guess it's because his face is kind of long and his nose is kind of big, and it needs to wear so much makeup to even look like a woman. Yeah,
I read that they didn't want to have him to wear glasses because it would be hell with the cameras and reflections and everything. But they found that the glasses made it made everything work, like his nose and everything. And
yeah, and it made him look less like a transvestite, because when he was putting the makeup on, because there's a scene where you just see how he puts the makeup on and stuff. And all that eyeshadow and stuff, I was just thinking, oh no, he looks like a drag right now, drag queen. But then when the glasses were on and the hair was on, it looked fine. But, I would love to see, like, behind the scenes how they made him look the way he did. Because they even gave him hips somehow, because he had like a...
Didn't you see?
No.
Yeah, when he's getting dressed in his apartment, and his flatmate is played by Bill Murray. Just a random, just a random side note. It was weird to see Bill Murray in that kind of small supporting act, and not the star of the film, like he usually is. But he was great for the small parts that he had. But yeah, there's a scene where he's kind of getting dressed, and he's like saying to Bill Murray, "What am I going to wear tonight?" And you can see the pants he's wearing have got like pads or something on the side. To kind of fill out the hips or whatever.
Nice.
Which is something I didn't notice until Connie said. I said, oh yeah, he does have more of a womanly figure. Yeah. I suppose he would have had to have thought about that.
It's funny how that... Because there's another woman in this movie who is kind of his girlfriend in a way. But, and she's super jealous, obviously, and she sees Dorothy, him, walking into an apartment, and she calls her fat, but she's skinny as hell.
Yeah.
And that just says something like, well, of course you're going to call her fat, but nowadays you just like, that skinny bitch walked into your apartment. But no, it was a fat woman, And
I love how he almost got offended by that,
Yeah.
Like, he was starting to take pride in his womanly appearance.
What I liked the most, though, was that interview that you showed me.
Yeah, there's a great interview with Dustin Hoffman that I'd seen years ago about the film. And he talks about his process of getting into the role of playing a woman, so to speak. And what, do you want to mention it?
Yeah, like he said, he wishes that he was prettier, and then like he wanted to look more interesting physically. Even though she was an interesting woman, you know.
He wasn't happy with how attractive or how
unattractive
he looked as a woman, and he said, "Can you make it better?" And they said, "That's the best we can do."
And that really bothered him, not because he couldn't look more attractive, but the fact that he had been brainwashed, he said, to think that that's what you need now to find someone interesting. They need to look attractive, and that actually, he sat there crying.
Yeah.
Because that's the way it is. And he was aware of himself being like that as well. Shallow, right? That's a word for it.
Yeah, definitely.
He didn't use the word, but that's what the world is. It's a shallow world, and that's the truth. And in the whole movie, they kept hinting to how unattractive she was. But I didn't find her bad looking.
No, but you know, I didn't find her attractive either, obviously. But like, she looked like 50s maybe or something. Yeah.
At least.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah.
And he was probably like 35 in the movie.
He said in the interview that there's so many like interesting women he's probably not taken the chance to go and talk to because he deemed them not attractive enough. He didn't say that, but that's what he was implying.
Yes, and
he found that sad, obviously, and realised that about himself.
And that made me like him even more.
Yeah,
because
and he said,
he realised what the world was and what he was like as well.
Yeah.
And he admitted it, like...
Yeah.
That's what I also really like. He admitted to being shallow like that.
And his final word was that it was never just a comedy to him. And I don't think it is either. I think it's a really funny film. One bit cracked me up is when he's about to get a taxi and he's like, taxi, taxi. No one's like, hey, taxi! Taxi just pulls it like... There's some really funny bits, but I think there's a great message to it. Yes. You know, about women and their role in society and stuff. And I think that even though it's 30 years old, more than 30 years old now, Jesus, I think it's still relevant today, the messages in the film. But I don't think that the messages are too in your face either, because it is a very light film, you know?
They're pretty in your face. Nowadays, that would be pretty in your face, because he mentions it all the time.
No.
It's degrading to women and all that, and that is his whole character in the series, how he takes over with his lines and stuff, because he makes the other characters hit back or whatever, and just not take any bullshit. Yeah, and not have women be just a doormat role in this show. Yeah, no, I understand what you mean. It is definitely constantly referenced, but I mean that the way that the actual message of the film, like, I don't know, it's not like a serious drama that's whole goal is about, you know, raising awareness for women's equality and stuff like that. It isn't proper thick. I mean, it's referenced a lot, but the film itself, if you just look at the story and not the message, it's just a light comedy. But it has the touches of drama and it has the message in there as well. And that's what I think makes it really effective, because you can watch it and enjoy it as a simple film, but then you can kind of think about it afterwards or during and get that message from it. It's from that, like that from the audition. Like when he walks in, the director or whatever for the TV show immediately says, like, you're not right for the role.
Yeah.
Because he was acting Dorothy out to be a very like that. And then when he made her toughen up, like Dorothy talked back like that back to the director.
Yeah.
And then they called it masculine to be like that.
Yeah. And
they also made a point out of them using the word masculine. So every time something degrading was talked about about women, they would bring it up and really stamp it up in there. Yeah. If they made this today, there would be a lot more stuff to put in there.
Yeah.
Than just, you know, being treated differently because you're that's the way it's always going to be.
But I just feel like it was perfectly handled, because I didn't feel like I was watching 2 hours of them saying message. I had the film
like
as
the
well.
Oscars.
Yeah, like it wasn't overboard, and that's what made it work so well. And
I don't mean it was overboard.
No, but you are totally right that it is referenced throughout the whole film. It's not like a small thing, even down to like little bits about the entertainment industry and the director, who like is kind of leching over the women and the actors in the show and stuff like that. And the girl who plays Dustin Hoffman's love interest, Jessica something, I forget her last name. I think she won an Oscar for the film. I don't know if she should have, but I thought she was very good in the film, and I liked their relationship.
I really wonder where I've seen her before.
She's in Cape Fear, that film with Robert De Niro, where he's stalking the family. Because I looked her up and I thought the same thing. I thought I've seen her somewhere before, and the only thing I could literally have properly seen her in is Cape Fear. So, anyway.
I don't even remember Cape Fear.
It's a great film. Okay, so that's pretty much it. Is Tootsie a film you should see before you die? Absolutely yes. Don't really need to even think about that one, to be honest. So
yeah, I agree.
Just an important film, but a really enjoyable, entertaining one at the same time. Anything else to add?
Dustin Hoffman is great.
Yeah, we just watched Kramer vs. Kramer a couple of weeks ago, and then this, and I think that Kramer was...
Kramer vs. Kramer was better, of course.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But he's great in this one, and of course you have definitely
Rain
Man,
yeah.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, he's a great actor. There's still some more films of his I need to see for sure.
Live?
Yeah, probably.
Of course.
Not true.
It's like 60 now.
70s.
Oh, there you go. Most celebrities go when
well,
they're 60
well,
nowadays.
it's 2016, so everyone's dropping like flies.
Last year too.
All the legends are
dead. What'd you do? Kidding.
Right, so there you go. It is must film you must see before you die. Thank you for watching. See you on the next one.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.